Thursday, July 18th, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 2019. Guys, in this video, we're going to listen to yet another example of strange sounds that appear to be coming from the sky from the same general location as the video we did about a month ago, just a little farther south down in the Germany area. In fact, Stuttgart, Germany is the location of this next video I'm about to share with you. I've also got some incredible photographs and what I'm calling crafts in the sky. I put together a little slideshow of what appear to be some very obvious looking cloud craft-like objects in the sky that I found very impressive from you guys that are wide awake and on the ball. These strange sounds are coming from this location you see right here at the red pin. More strange sounds that appear to be coming from the sky. But before we get started, in case you have on headphones or earbuds or anything like that, I want you to adjust your speakers. That's the location right there. In fact, let me go back to it real quick. That's the location. Right in that area is where this video recording was taken from. And it was shared with me actually a couple of weeks ago. So at this moment, please lower your volume just a little bit, as the sounds that you're about to hear kind of have a high pitch. So I just want to give you a heads up in case you do have on headphones or earbuds. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here's the sounds coming from Germany. Can't say that I've ever heard anything like that myself. The location was Stuttgart, Germany. That was the second clip of 2. This was the first one there, and there was the second one. Happened twice. Person is obviously a local native of this area. Had never heard anything like it. Young lady's name is Jana S. from Stuttgart, Germany. Stuttgart is where they make, I want to say, Mercedes or something over there in that area. They manufacture cars, manufacture a lot of nice things out of Germany. But anyway, once again, strange sounds coming from the same general location as the sounds we heard about a month ago from southern United Kingdom, up in Norway, now down in here in Germany on the map here that I've made for you guys, just to put things in perspective. That's where we heard them before, and we're hearing them in the same general location again. Now I've got some sky phenomena I want to share that have been shared with me recently, but first, some crafts in the clouds is what I'm calling this little slideshow. But I've received all of these within the past probably week or less of very obvious what look like crafts in the clouds in the sky. Look at that. Thomas from Plant City, Florida. Very obvious looking, quite large craft of some sort. Very distinct shape to it. Kind of hard to miss. Once again, that was taken by Thomas from Plant City, Florida, back on July 11th. Just an amazing photograph. Great observation, Thomas. Thanks for sharing. I've got several observations, some not quite as clear as that one, but this one here, if you look close enough, I don't know how Bonnie noticed this from Bryan, Ohio. Check this out as I zoom in tighter and tighter. It's a very obvious triangle shape. Now, whether it's gone now or at the time she took the photograph, I don't know, but there's a very distinct triangle shape in the sky. In fact, I've seen those things before, so I do know that they're very real. I've seen two. One actually looked like a boomerang. The other one looked more like that, like a triangle. Quite large, to say the least. So that could be another example of one of those incredible flying machines tucked away up in the clouds, or maybe once was there, and that's what it left behind in the clouds. Vancouver, British Columbia. Photo sent in by Miriam. And it appears that there are 2 large, or at least the outlines of 2 large triangles in the sky that maybe were once there or are there and we just can't see them. The clouds are kind of showing us the outline of these incredible machines. There they are in different formats, and they definitely do look like triangles in the sky. No doubt about it. Thanks for sharing, Miriam. Greatly appreciate it. These next photographs are, once again, of the same thing. Jacksonville, Florida, sent in by Jenny. Notice what looked like a very long-shaped triangle, cloud-looking object or something in the sky. No doubt about it, that's what it looks like. Whether it is or not, kind of open to your own interpretation. Martinsville, Indiana, Eddie, E-D-I-E, noticed, once again, a big triangle in the sky, or at least the outline or shape, shadow, whatever you want to call it. Looks like a triangle in the sky. It doesn't look like a random cloud. That's why they took the photograph. And moving on to yet another example from Humble, Texas. Photo taken by Steve. This almost looks like a boomerang or the outline of a boomerang. I've seen one of those as well, and I wasn't looking for it. I was outside early in the morning, around 5:30. It was still dark, October of 2018. Thing went right over my head, moving from east to west. Looked much like that, but it was pitch black and had some portals on the top of it. Didn't look like lights. It looked more like windows or portals. But this one here, taken by Christia, and you can see the outline of yet another triangle craft with maybe something in the center. I know there's a larger one here that's kind of like the elephant in the room, but if you look real close, it looks like there's a smaller one here going inside the larger shaped triangle configuration in the sky. Here's some different filters that I've used to try to pull a little bit of the detail forward on that smaller craft right there. There's a good look at the right side. That's a definite line in the sky, and you can also see one up there as well. Sure does look like a triangle in the sky. Good observation. Another good observation here by Jimmy from Illinois. Look at that. Perfect triangle, or once was a perfect triangle, probably sitting there in the clouds. At least that's how I interpret that. Doesn't look like any of the other clouds in the sky. In fact, the clouds are very thick. And then there's a perfect triangle opening in the sky. Ed from Puerto Rico was driving down the highway when he noticed this large triangle-shaped cloud in the sky that looked like it was coming down from the sky. It looked like it had a little trail behind it, or actually nothing little about it, quite large. It looked like it had some sort of a trail behind it, and this was the main feature of what he noticed in the sky. Good observation, Ed. Shane from Louisiana. I don't know how he saw this, but you can see right here, the man made a very good observation, and we've been seeing this here recently over the last 2 or 3 months. I've seen probably 3 really good examples of what you're about to see here. There's a row of what look like windows on a large disc tucked away in these clouds. And when I adjust the filters on this thing and use some modification techniques with regard to color and lighting, I never modify the photos, you're going to see what looks like some sort of a conduit that comes from down here, wraps around this craft, almost like it's recharging or something. Check this out. But first, let's identify the craft. Okay, there it is. See the windows? Now you're going to see this, what looks like conduit that comes up and kind of wraps around this craft that's a little darker. And the only reason I noticed that is because it is darker. That tells me it's a little denser. Wraps all the way around this thing and then drapes down over to here. But if you'll notice these, what look like intelligently designed figures here, these shapes of windows, that's how I perceive those. They look like windows or portals of some sort. Right across here. There's a straight line underneath them, straight line above them. That doesn't look natural. That looks like something intelligently designed. And once again, pay attention to this feature here that's much darker, that kind of wraps around it like some sort of a loose string or, you know, a large rope that is a different density. That's why it's a different color. So great observation by Shane out of Louisiana. In fact, very good observations by everybody that sent in those photographs. Good job, guys. Here's some very unique sky phenomenon photos that have been sent in recently. I've went through a lot. There's a ton of new ones at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery at the website. We're going to start here with a few photos that I've received recently. Toronto, Greg, look at this cloud. It almost looks like it's coming down from the sky on top of this building in Toronto. Look at that thing. Very photogenic storm cloud, much like this one here. And he described it as it looked like it was pulling water or sucking water out of Lake Ontario. See how it extends all the way down from the sky, touching the ground. I mean, from this perspective, it does look like it's touching the ground. However, that was out over Lake Ontario. So the way this was perceived, it was like it was pulling water up from Lake Ontario, like it was a vacuum. Incredible photograph, much like this one here from Ohio. Photo taken by Amy of a very ominous looking sky. Unbelievable. Another one from Ohio. Christos from Cleveland, Ohio. Big shelf cloud. And this is another part of that same storm, Christos. Big shelf cloud going more vertical than horizontal. Dwayne noticed this, what I'm calling a ghost plane. He said he looked up and noticed what looked like an airplane in the sky, or the shadow of an airplane, a very large plane at that, in the clouds. And the clouds are indeed shaped like the left-hand side of an airplane, or at least the wing. There's the motor, and there's the fuselage, the center of the airplane, hanging out in the sky. Here's a different filter. Kind of get a different look at this thing. Call it the ghost plane. That's really unique. Good observation, Dwayne. Thanks for sharing. Henning noticed this from East Texas as he was driving through East Texas, and he noticed that the sun, from this angle, it looked very, very small. And I completely agree. The clouds in front of the sun, they were acting as kind of like a solar filter, so to speak. And the sun did look very, very small. We are at, or we're exiting aphelion, which is our farthest point away from the sun each year. It's in July, and it definitely looks like it's much, much smaller. July 4th, I think, or around the 4th, was aphelion, but you can see the sun does look very small in that photograph. Good observation. Greene County, Pennsylvania, photo sent in by Jeremy of yet another double rainbow. Hardly see singles anymore at all these days. Noticed another observation from Greene County of a halo around the sun, but it had a companion. It had a white halo that was not exactly around the sun, so to speak, but it was very obvious right there. So you've got a halo that's loaded with color, and then you've got a halo that's solid white. Very strange. Much like these here, we're seeing these odd rainbows underneath the halos now, and they're not directly associated with the halo. You can see this halo is almost a double, at least right here in this, from this view. Over here it doesn't look like a double, but over here it does. The sun's up here, and that's a halo, or at least partial halo around the sun, and there's what looks like another ring, but way down here towards the horizon, there's a halo or a rainbow or something. We've been seeing this here a lot lately with regard to these colorful lines underneath these halos that run horizontal. And that looks like another example of it there. That photo was taken by John. Not exactly sure where that was taken at, but good observation. That's what they noticed, that rainbow. And it wasn't even raining. Sky just loaded with color. Thomas, North Michigan, another impressive double rainbow. Look like highways in the sky. Just amazing. I don't ever remember seeing those growing up. United Kingdom, sun taken by Hazel. DC metro area, photograph of a big tall cloud taken by Ray that looked like it was glowing on top of the very tall cloud structure. Once again, another photograph of a cloud that's coming down out of the sky, and it almost looks like if it's not completely making contact with the ground. And again, that photo was by Ray from the DC metro area. This here looks like a hand reaching up, grabbing this rainbow-looking feature in the sky. Photo taken by John from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This here is just an outstanding photograph from St. Louis, Missouri. Looks like a Cardinals baseball game. And off in the distance, you've got these very tall supercell thunderstorms reaching very high up into the sky. Excellent photograph. Photo taken by Shayla. Great job. Northeast Georgia, windy. Said the moon temporarily the other night looked like Jupiter. And you can see the sky is colored with some browns and light browns and tan. So At one point, she said the moon looked very much like Jupiter. Victoria, Australia, photographs taken by Lane of a hole punch cloud that appeared to be moving through the sky. You can see here it's above a silo, very low, and you can see here it's in a different location. So the clouds were obviously moving rather quickly at the time she was taking these photographs. But another example of hole punch clouds, we see these from time to time, and those themselves are very, very unique. Another example of an incredible double rainbow, once again from Michigan, David, north of Detroit. Those things are really awesome. Roanoke Rapids, Virginia, Gary noticed some crepuscular rays. I don't know if this is at sunset or sunrise. Either way, spectacular photographs. Thanks for sharing. Southeast Michigan, same phenomena noticed by Ron. Big towering beams in the sky. Frank from Tampa Bay, Florida, calling this the sun sword as the sun set in the west, viewed from Tampa Bay, Florida. That is a beautiful photograph of the sun reflecting light across Tampa Bay. Great job, guys. You can see more photographs here at the website in the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery. I've probably put the neighborhood of 50 new photographs in there, so don't forget to check it out. You can find the website linked below in the description box, MrMBB333.com. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.